Hi, I'm Jen. Let's do some housekeeping and then I'm going to talk to you about what is inside of the program and then a little bit about myself as a meditation practitioner and as a meditation instructor. Housekeeping, please go into the calendar in Skool and book your time. We do a weekly free meditation class. This course is intended to be a complement to that. In the class, there will be people who are more advanced practitioners, and we want you to feel supported. And if you're just starting from scratch, this is a really good place to be. So consider this like your supportive hub. It is a live and active community, right? So you can take this course and then you can kind of stop partway through and then send me a message and say, hey, Jen, I'm struggling, or like reach out to me. I don't mind at all. Or you could go into the community and you can just write in the group chat and somebody else might be dealing with the same thing. And we just want this to be light and interesting and for everybody to learn together. Originally, when I designed this program, it was a part of a larger program and it was intended to be taken over 8 weeks. So what I've done is I've peeled out all of the meditation information and put it into here for you guys so that it's very specific just for meditation practice. I'm going to teach you 7 different tools that you can use to get into a meditative state of mind. And not every tool works for every person, which is why it's really nice to understand sort of what's out there, because you might have sat down and thought, why can't I figure out how to do this? Well, I know that when I couldn't figure out how to do it, I had no idea. I had so many options of ways that I could relax my mind and work on my focus and concentration to finally achieve a meditation practice. Not that I just did, but one that I really enjoyed. So please go through everything in order. We've got W1 is week 1, W2 is week 2. So in a perfect scenario, you would do 1 week at a time and you'd get to the end of your 8 weeks and you would have your 15-minute meditation practice. If you're a little bit eager and you want to learn all the tools ahead of time, I'm not going to stop you from doing that, but I want you to be reasonable with yourself. You'll notice my personality is very strong in the sense that I don't think that we're perfect. There's lots of different ways to achieve the same thing. I want you to be easy on yourself. We're hard on ourselves for so many other things. And meditation is such a beautiful practice, you guys. Once you figure out something that you're going to enjoy and it doesn't feel like a chore, you will be so happy that you gifted yourself this time in order to have this experience. Now, at the beginning of the course, what I've done is I've added in extra videos, things to talk about barriers that a typical beginner meditator faces, things like what time and how to sit and do I eat when I'm meditating and all that kind of stuff. I have a lot of different training from various different types of schools, from yoga and meditation, yoga philosophy, and all these different things. I want you to just consider this course. It's my take on how we learn how to meditate in the real world, right? Based on how busy we are and the different things that we have to navigate through in life. So in some cases, there might be ancient rules that somebody said we're supposed to meditate on an empty belly, and maybe I don't agree with it. Okay, so you're going to get a really heartfelt course here about how I think that we can kind of set the rules aside and build our own set of rules so that we can make this so much more accessible for everybody. All right, sound fair? Okay, I think that that's it. So you're just going to go through. So there is sometimes you learn about a tool and then I'll give you a meditation to do for that tool, like learning how to breathe, and then I'll show you a breathing exercise. Other times I'll just tell you about what type of a meditation it is, like metta meditation, and what it means and what you're experiencing in your body, but there will be no guided meditation. You just need to understand what it is, and that's enough, and you can work it into your own practice. The last thing I will mention to you is that sound. Okay, listening to sound can be very enjoyable for some people and not enjoyable for others. So number one, I didn't want to guide you with my own words through all of your meditations. So some of your meditations act like a timer. It's like a video. So it might say 7 minutes on it, and you just press play and there's a bell at the beginning and a bell at the end, and you'll know that you've been there for 7 minutes. And then I've given you a whole bunch of different tracks that you could choose from if you wanted to add music in. Does that make sense? because if I put music on everything and people didn't like the music I chose, it also might be another distraction. So this is a little bit of a you working with me and vice versa to come up with the best practice that you can. But you're going to have so much information, know so much more about how your brain works, and know so much more about yourself, so much more awareness. Very excited for you. Okay, so if you just want to stop the video because you don't care about my own personal journey, I totally get it. Just go ahead and get started in the program. If you want to stick around for another couple of seconds here, I'll give you a quick synopsis about how I came to meditation. When I finished working in my corporate job, I was very unwell, and while I was living in Bali, I was studying yoga, but I wasn't really on a spiritual path. And I remember talking to a lot of people who were living there at the time, and people were saying that meditation was allowing them to get like wonderful ideas for business, and just that they had amazing sleep and that they felt like a different person, and relationships started to improve and all of this stuff. And I just thought, wow, it really seems like it's otherworldly, you know? And I sat down and I tried to meditate for such a long time, following all of these rules that everybody had given me, and I was never successful. And for all the reasons you'll learn as you go through the course. And then I found a woman who was clairvoyant, and she taught meditation, and I hired her, and she sat me down in the middle of the jungle and taught me to do certain things. Again, I'm going to teach you how to do it here. And for the very first time in my life, I got into a real meditative state, and I got that sort of download where it just felt like I had so much clarity of thought and so much ideas. All I wanted to do was write it all down. It was amazing. It was amazing, but it was guided, right? And I was supported by someone, and I was like, okay, well, I can't be supported every time. I wonder if I can repeat what she showed me. And I went and I sat down on a beach every day and in the morning under all these rules, again, trying to follow what she had showed me to do. And again, I didn't find myself very successful. So what I am promising to you is I think that in 2 months' time, you are going to be able to have a meditation practice. And I wish that I'd had a course like this when somebody first showed me or was first telling me about meditation. So basically the story goes is even after this woman showed me how to get into a meditative state, it took me months afterwards to figure out how to do it again regularly on my own. And I remember the very first time that I did it on my own, I just had this feeling like the whole entire world was at a standstill. I felt like I was in like a hug. I had no pain. It was just pure bliss. I can't even begin to explain the experience. It was so different than anything I had known in my real life. And after I achieved, I felt so successful as a person. And I was like, wow, you know, I figured out my way. And it's with doing some of the tools that I teach you here in this course. You just have to figure out which works for you. One of them is sound. Anyways, my meditation journey has just been beautiful, and I'm constantly growing. I meditate for a long time now every day, and I hesitate ever to tell anybody how long I meditate for, because sometimes I feel like when people are talking about meditation, it's like the longer you meditate, it feels like people are showing off, and that's not what yoga is about. That's not what meditation is about. That's not what this practice is about. You just need to do what's right for you. And I also think that over the course of my life, I meditate for longer periods of time during different times of my life. Like maybe I'm struggling with something, maybe I need something a little more, maybe I have more time. Like life fluctuates, right? So let yourself fluctuate too. My meditation practice has moved from something that was very practical to rest my brain to something that is a very spiritual experience for me. Whether you are here and you're a spiritual person or not, it doesn't matter, because I think that everything that you need comes to you in time, right? I would not have been having this conversation with my younger self for sure. I never would have even imagined myself being here giving this course to you. And I can tell you from the bottom of my heart, I am so excited to publish this course so that you guys are able to take it, because I feel like this is the reason I'm here in the world, is to share the practices of how to slow down, and meditation is one of the very, very, very best ways to do it. It's an endless amount of gifts, you guys. You'll find more clarity with how you're making your decisions. It feels like you gain a little bit more time before you can answer and respond to someone. You ever feel like everyone's kind of like asking you to do a million things and you're like, oh, don't you see how busy I am? I feel like learning how to meditate let me kind of take a step back and have a really nice, big, deep breath and just sort of relax into a space of being able to answer and just do it with more grace and be a little bit more clear and more easy on myself. I hope that that makes sense. Anyways, I could talk to you about meditation all day long. And if you have more questions for me, I am here. We're in school. And I'm also thrilled about having the community. So I hope that you stick around, and I hope that you get tons of benefit out of the course. And good luck. Bye.